Tom's an olive hater, apparently.
What the hell?
Zachariah is an olive hater.
Yeah, don't mention
And then
that.
there was Love as an olive hater.
Yes,
So,
I am.
Did you say Dan?
Well, I'm a mild hater,
He's
but
a mild hater, aka hater.
the thing is,
you look like an olive terrorist, bro.
So it's okay for him to say that he looks like an olive hater, but then everyone around you is anti-Semitic when they call you out for your antics. Okay. No, it makes sense. You know, it really, once your brain becomes shriveled up and you start losing brain cells because the logic isn't logicking, then it starts making sense. Because then you start having the same brain capacity as Ethan Klein. And what doesn't make sense just starts to make sense. Ethan Klein has been crashing out repetitively for multiple months. We've talked about it before, but even in the past 24 to 48 hours, he's been crashing out a lot. So I have compiled a list of every aspect of the crash out and different topics where he's been crashing out about. And I couldn't even put everything in this video because it would be all over the place if I tried. But we're going to go through the majority of it in this video and more than likely upload a part 2 as well. So make sure you like, subscribe, comment for more videos like this. We are so close to hitting 15,000. So please support me by hitting that subscribe button and let's get into it. I kind of have to set the playing field for what we're about to talk about. Basically, Ethan Klein's kid, dog, himself, his wife apparently got something called Giardia, which it's kind of like, I believe it's an infection or something like that gives you uncontrollable diarrhea. And this kind of started a snowball effect of CPS getting involved and everyone had a commentary on it and it really pissed him off and he started threatening to sue people. So there's a lot that goes on here. So I just wanted to lay the playing field.
So that's only one part of it. The next part is
what's the next?
that Olive has Giardia.
Oh shit, I meant to say Giardia, my bad. I don't know why I thought it was Giardia. Okay, you know what? This is why I'm not a doctor.
Which is it's a bacterial infection in the intestines that makes you have diarrhea.
And Olive has this?
Olive has this, yeah. She came to us with it.
Okay.
She had diarrhea and
oh, poor baby.
Ducky came to us with that too. And I just wonder why.
It's relatively common.
It should be, they should have found it already. But anyway, so she has Giardia, so we have her on an antibiotic, but we had to wait until Monday, which is today. We just got it today. And, well, Sonny's crawling around. He's putting everything in his mouth. He's at that age. He has Giardia.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
And now Hila has Giardia.
Shut. For real?
And now I think this morning I had diarrhea.
Oh my god.
What can I do to not get it from you?
I'm trying to...
Because I'm not trying to get
You
it.
ever crank the AC, maybe?
Is it?
It's extremely ridiculous to get. You have to ingest my poop. Are you planning on that?
Never.
Not really.
So then you're fine.
But unfortunately...
So the problem is...
you just told us that your poop is flowing out of your mouth.
Okay, so when you look up Giardia, it's a parasitic infection that is transmitted through fecal to oral route, which means that people become infected by it by ingesting Giardia cysts, which are microscopic parasites found in the feces of infected individuals or animals. So if this started with his dog and his kid, and he said that my kid has been eating everything that he can find, he's in that phase, one can put 2 and 2 together and assume that the kid may have ingested poop that had parasites in it. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying that if you put 2 and 2 together, that could be the conclusion that one gets to. You know, I shouldn't be laughing because this is so bad, but it's just like the events that happen after this are so fucking ridiculous. It could have just been completely avoided if he just didn't tell anyone that he and his family contracted poop parasites. But anyways, I digress. Sometimes you yap on live stream, okay? I do it too. Hi, mandated reporter here, just hopping on to give you my non-cracked out perspective on H3's whole "my kids have parasites, you only get it from eating feces, why are people saying I'm a shitty parent" situation. Pediatricians, teachers, and school staff workers are all mandated reporters, which means if you have enough reasonable information that leads you to believe the child's safety is in danger, you must call CPS before anything happens. So if a kid is visibly disheveled, injured, or ill due to neglect/environment at home, you make a call because if anything happened to the kid, it will stay in your conscious forever. So Ethan responds to this as CPS spoke with his pediatrician. Tests that Sonny's pediatrician ordered showed he never had Giardia. You don't need to literally eat shit to get Giardia. You can get it from surfaces. If Olive's bum brushed on the floor, even with a clean bum, it can spread across the floor surface. That literally doesn't make sense. The parasites have to transfer to the floor. Okay, you know what? Whatever. You know what? I'm not trying to get sued, so I'm just gonna fucking read this. Please report this post and the entire subreddit. Reddit continues to allow to enable unmoderated sub to target my children for real life harassment. So he claims that his kids never had Giardia when he literally was on H3H3, a podcast on YouTube that has millions of subscribers, claiming that him, his wife, his dog, his kid all have Giardia, a specific parasite that comes from the poop of whoever is infected and or whatever animal that is infected. And then he's complaining that Reddit is rejecting reports. But the thing is, this could have all been avoided if he just didn't talk about it online. Like, it's so weird. It's just so weird. So then Ethan says that CPS gets called on him, and this is basically the YouTube video of it.
This morning we got a visit from Child Protective Services because I told this story on the show a few weeks ago about how when we adopted Olive, she had Giardia, and then the next day Sonny started having diarrhea, so we suspected he might have Giardia, seeing as that he's an infant, he's crawling around, he's putting everything in his mouth, etc. It makes sense, right? It's obvious. So it turned into this whole snark narrative that our house is a mess, that there's dog shit everywhere, that Sonny is eating shit and getting Giardia, and that, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And well, it culminated in somebody finally, an anonymous call went into them on the 3rd, saying that they were somebody that works at the house, and they wanted to report us because our kids are crawling around eating dog shit and getting viruses. And they were able to provide enough details because of what I said on the show to make it appear that it was somebody. He said, like, when he first showed up, he's like, it's somebody that you know who made the report. And I'm like, no, okay. So I mean, they used. I mean, yeah, you could easily impersonate.
Oh, sorry.
You're good. Go ahead.
What's truly like despicable to me is the fact that like you hear so often that CPS, like that they're not always.
They're underfunded.
Yes, and also it always like seeps through the cracks for some reason.
Yeah.
And so the fact that they were so on it here, it's like that could have gone to a family that really needed it and a child that really needed to be saved. Like
I was pretty surprised. I mean, one anonymous call. I was like, that's all it takes. But I guess the thing is, he was like, we thought it was someone who.
I can't
who
imagine
you know.
how scary.
The guy was very nice. He was a very professional, a nice young guy, very nice. At first, he's not from our world. He doesn't understand. And I tried to explain, like, this is part of this harassment campaign. We've been visited by the FBI. We've been swatted, this and that. And we talked for a while. He gets it, but there's certain things that I guess he has to do. So he looked all. I mean, you walked around with him. I was upset about the whole thing.
Well, yeah, I was very upset as well.
He
wanted to look at everything.
Well, the house is spotless.
He was checking the house and like, where do the dogs go potty? Because we heard that there's poop on the floor.
The house is spotless.
Our house is so clean.
And also we literally installed this huge outdoor.
If you come on the internet as a controversial figure, you say that your child contracts a parasite from your dog's shit, and you don't expect CPS to show up, I don't know what you expect. And this commentator that's like, people always fall through the cracks at CPS, and CPS decided to care about you. How dare CPS do their job? Wow, this could have gone towards a kid that really needed it. I don't know. In my opinion, if a kid is contracting parasites from eating dog shit, then they need CPS. And I'm not saying that's exactly what happened in Ethan's case, because God fucking knows what happens in his house. I don't fucking know. But I'm just saying, I think that warrants a CPS, visit.
Or I don't know how you call it. It's like a huge outdoor area connected
We
to a
did
dog
like,
door.
yeah, because we live in an area where there are coyotes, and we did fence our house like really well. They don't really get in the backyard, but for our own peace of mind, we wouldn't let the dogs out unsupervised.
Hell no, in the middle of the night, especially if we're
especially in the middle of the night. So we set up a doggy door for them that once you exit it, you're in a totally enclosed, like a huge cage. It's not like a small cage. It's like a room.
Yeah,
I mean, everybody in our house is very privileged, including the dogs and the kids. So I showed him like, we take them out. They have a giant
24/7.
backyard, and then they even have this enclosure that we built just for them so they can go out safely at night. Then I showed him the kids' rooms, and he's like, "Oh yeah, lots of toys." And I'm like, "Yep, lots of toys." Then
shit anywhere
he
so
wanted to
far.
see Sunny. I went to show him Sunny, and he fucking woke up Sunny that was taking a nap.
He did on accident.
Not on purpose, but he wanted to take a look. And Sunny's like, they sense everything.
Yeah.
The babies can sense. And it's like, what the fuck is this stranger staring at me in my room? We looked at Sunny. Then they wanted to talk to our nanny and ask questions. Who feeds the kids? Who takes care of them? Who takes them to school? And like,
What do you do when you get angry at your kid?
yeah, what do
you
when
do
get
when a dog
angry?
poops on the floor? And then the part that, in my opinion, crossed the line was like, so I'm going to visit your kids at school and ask them questions. And I says, you're not fucking doing that.
No,
I mean, we
that's-
both were like, that's not happening. You're not going.
Terrifying.
You are not doing that. So he agreed to come visit our
Come back
house
next week.
when the kids are at home because he needs to fucking interview our kids as a matter of procedure.
But I was like, I really don't want you to create any bad memory here for them. Like, they are 5 and 3. They don't understand this shit. So I told him, if you want to come, and I'm going to tell them that you're our friend, and I'm going to be there, and you can ask them questions as our friend, we can do that. But like, anything beyond that is not happening.
I do want to clarify the guy was very nice and understanding.
The guy was nice. I have no problem
He's
with
just
the
doing
guy.
his job, you know, but, like-
it's not related.
it's kind of hard to believe that one anonymous tip can result in this fucking
One
massive
anonymous
waste-
call.
One
call.
massive waste of time and resources from a vitally underfunded, understaffed, overworked department that does really important work. And
But then you hear about stories, people that actually need the help and they don't get it.
that's what Olivia was saying. Yeah.
So frequently.
So then this is a clip where Hila and Ethan basically talk about dog poop being existent in their house. And I just want us to kind of listen to this because it's very relevant towards this whole entire situation that's been created, okay?
He
Wanted to look at everything.
Well, the house is spotless.
He was
by the way.
checking the house and like, where do the dogs go potty? Because we heard that there's poop on the floor.
The house is spotless.
Our house is so clean.
Is this shit?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it all just depends on how significantly different this is than their existing content. I mean, if it's like a huge jump up in production quality, then it'll make sense. What's happening?
The carpet from one of the dogs. It's like a super it's like a super, how do you call it? Fibery,
Petrified?
super fluffy with like strings, you know?
Yeah.
And obviously we clean our carpet, but I can't even see it with my naked eye. I was just passing my foot over it and felt a bump. It's old, by the way. It's hard.
Gross. The fight was canceled?
Okay, so obviously this is from an older clip, right? But he has been on live stream where he ran his foot over old dog poop under his desk. So this idea that it's so outlandish that CPS decided to come to your house, like I found this clip on Twitter within the matter of 5 minutes. If I could find it, I'm sure that CPS could find it too. You know, I feel like some people, here's the issue. I think some people forget that the internet has a footprint, and especially when you do work on the internet, your whole entire life, your live streaming, your livelihood depends on it. You're on the internet a lot. And so it's kind of hard to forget that you have these moments that are still on the internet. And I think this is one of those situations where it's like, is the idea that your child ate dog poop with parasites now completely out of the orbit and unimaginable? It's not. But wait, there's more. So this next segment of Ethan Klein's continuous crash out, I guess you could say Ethan Klein and his family's crash out, because I guess the kids and the dog are involved now. But Ethan and his community start to what seems like randomly attack people. So he begins this whole doxing campaign by going after a random Instagram Instagram commentator. This random person that commented, I don't even think they commented anything like terrible, to be completely honest, but we're just gonna watch this video real quick.
He said, I'm glad that phase is behind me. Enjoy hell. Joe Coop said. I'll start David. Here he is, if anyone, let's see if I know, can identify him at all.
The people saying I need to let go of the whole Ethan Klein thing, fuck you. This was sent to my sister today. She's 16 years old. These have not.
Let's see what the message said. I know what school your mom works at. Laugh emoji. Tell her she's not safe. Joe, your brother question mark started some shit and now your mom is gonna pay. Ethan Klein will get her grape, which I'm assuming is a metaphor for rape, which is gross because we're talking about a minor's Instagram.
Not stopped. They haven't slowed down. This is the type of shit my family receives every single day. So shout out to Ethan Klein that my mom, who is an art teacher at an impoverished public school, has to deal with this shit. You are truly the morally superior YouTuber.
So that's one tweet I could find of this. And here's another one. Ethan Klein posting people's full names, social medias, and personal information on his stories. His usual harassment techniques aren't working, so he's escalating, possibly trying to make it harder to share vile behaviors that he's engaging with. So this commentator says, I called CPS on you, Ethan. I'm right here. And then proceeds to post their Facebook on his story, I guess. And I guess this is what Denham's had to say about it.
He just like insulted her relentlessly and just like made fun of her and laughed at her, and the crew laughed at her, and she was getting so much harassment. She was like, I'm not doing content anymore. I think that's been his experience, that he can just like bully people. That, oh, you want to disagree with me ever? Well, I'm going to bully you as hard as I can. And because I have a bigger audience, you will get harassed more than I will. Now, never talk about me again. And like, that's why I like to roll, again, I said it before, but that's why I like to roll around in the mud. It's not fair that these people get to just lie about everyone around them and no one calls them out. Like, fuck you. No, you don't get to just be a total piece of shit and then have everyone be too afraid to fucking fight back. Hell no.
Listen, this is so true because Ethan knows he has power. He knows he's a lot bigger than a lot of these creators. He knows he's bigger than the whole entire Arabs podcast. He successfully got Denham's, Frogren, Caprice and Poppy, all these people banned from Twitch who are all either Muslim, Middle Eastern, or both for 30 days, which is literally their whole entire livelihood. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. He knows the power he has. He knows the influence that he has. He knows the shit he can get away with. And so he's using that to his advantage, and he's basically saying, hey, you want to talk shit about me? I'm gonna make your life miserable. And he knows he can get away with it for the most part. He knows that. Reminder that Ethan and Hila Klein opened the door on this when they started report-brigading smaller creators for being critical of them. So let's watch him do it again here.
Called, I apologize to Bertilicious Do Not Worry number 130 on YouTube.
I am proudly reporting this guy for, let's see, promotes terror. Does it promote terrorism? Kind of. I don't know if that's the most accurate. It does promote terrorism.
Inciting hate.
Violent or
violence.
Hateful or abusive?
Yeah.
I feel like it's even worse than that. I guess I'll do that.
Can you choose all of the above?
Promotes hate or violence. So that's perfect.
Yeah.
I'm helping clean YouTube up. Enjoy. Right here, exactly. Should I write something? Watch the following minute from this timestamp. He is encouraging and cheering on violence against civilians.
So there you see him go on a smaller creator's YouTube channel video that he didn't like and report it for terrorism and whatnot. So I also know one of the people that he doxed took it on TikTok. Yeah, this is the guy that got doxed by Ethan.
3-minute unfiltered clip of Ethan Klein telling his followers to witch hunt me for telling him to enjoy hell. I did say that because they're staunchly Zionists, and I don't like Zionists. I think they should go to hell, and hopefully they enjoy it. I mean, they're gonna be in hell. But yeah, here's the video.
Man, I'm being obsessed with you guys when you only had 15K subs. Glad that's behind me. Enjoy hell. This guy's for real. Joe Coop Joe Coop. Look this guy up. Enjoy hell. He said, enjoy hell.
Yeah. No, I mean, they think I'm actually the devil.
I feel like this one's real. We caught you, Joe. Public-facing account.
Joe.
I see you. You wanted to be cute? Let's see it. Nice mustache. Strong entry. Not exactly the Esteban, but halfway there.
He's not. Oh yeah.
Yes, he's a real guy.
Blocked him 'cause he's not showing up for me.
So this is Joe Coop. He left a message on Hila's Star David tattoo. He said, "I'm glad that phase is behind me. Enjoy hell." Joe Coop said. On Star David. Here he is. If anyone, let's see if I know, can identify him at all.
Oh shit! That weenie truck he's in front of. That's in Dearborn.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's
Dearborn owns the Oscar Mayer truck?
It's at the Henry Ford Museum. Yeah, they also have the.
Wait, it doesn't travel around?
Yeah, I thought it traveled.
I mean, it used to in like the '60s, unless there's multiple.
Which one's Joe? Let's see. I think it's this guy.
No.
That's Joe
Doesn't
Coop.
look anything like him.
No, no, it is. Here, let me show you. That's him.
Oh.
That's him right there. Trust me, when I see an anti-Semite, I know I can spot him.
Wow. Spot him from a crowd.
That's him. So I don't know if you guys all know that, but your friend Joe here actually is a fucking giant racist piece of shit. And like he likes to tell Jewish people they're going to hell on Instagram on his public profile. I don't know if any of you guys know him, but certainly anyone who would employ him or probably even his parents would be pretty disappointed to see that. Although who knows? Here's his mom. I'm not going to click that for her. I'm not, you know what? Fuck him. This is what you, here's your mom. I wonder if she knows what you do on social media on your free time. You love your mama. Good thing she's not Jewish, hey, Joe? I love it. I love it. So anyway, best of luck to you out there, Joe. I don't know who you are, but you're a fucking asshole. And shame on you. Yeah. Let's see. Sleuther. Oh, you're absolute.
So I actually, listen, go to hell. That's not a nice comment, but I don't necessarily know how that ties to anti-Semitism. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. So this is the same guy that said that his mother is a elementary school teacher and was getting harassed constantly, and his sister was getting grape comments. It's the same guy. And that's just crazy to me, right? Like it's crazy to me that you're using your big platform like that in such a hurtful way, right? Because you're claiming that you're fighting anti-Semitism whilst sending so much hate towards someone else. All right, this is Hassan Piker. He's the director of Creators for Palestine. It's a creator collective that fundraise for Palestine. They all fundraise for Palestine. And so he uploaded this video a very long time ago. Like he uploaded this video a long time ago. It was a couple months ago. And just today, literally a couple hours ago, he posts on his story what he means is free Palestine. He posted a video calling out Ethan and talking about, the Palestine movement. His comments are saying Ethan Klein needs to be dealt with. He's doing it to himself, Ethan Klein, and I need them to go distant with it. I hope you know how bad this sounds. I hope you don't care. I hope you know I don't care. Fuck Ethan Klein. Sure, these comments aren't nice. Ethan is trying to say that this is something anti-Semitic. I don't see how it's anti-Semitic because the video was not anti-Semitic whatsoever. And this is the video. So we're going to watch the video a little bit sped up because it is a 5-minute video.
Creators for Palestine raised $1.6 million. That's fantastic. Literally negligible. They've received billions of fucking dollars. It's a good thing. Has $1.6 million had an outcome on anything happening in Gaza? Absolutely fucking not. Has it helped people? Sure. Has it helped fucking the actual movement? No. Raise money. That's good. That's the easiest fucking thing you can do is just give money, right? Good. Let's talk about real activism. Let's talk about enacting meaningful change.
It's not real activism. It didn't make a single difference in Gaza. He's lost his mind. It's crazy how much I used to look up to H3. They were the fathers of fair use, and now he's just sitting here crashing out for days on end because Hassan Piker won't watch his silly little class project. That $1.69 million, and I put the 9 there because it was 1.693 million, so it's pretty close to 1.7, so we'll round up. That $1.69 million helped so many individuals, and no, it absolutely did not solve the crisis. That's not what we set out to do. If we had the power to do that, we would have done that 1,000 times over, but no amount of YouTubers coming together is going to solve what's happening in Gaza. We wanted to do 2 things. Use our platform to spread awareness and help in the ways that we can and raise the money that we can. And if you can't understand that, Ethan, if you can't mentally understand that that's activism, you're an idiot. We pulled together creators from every single corner of the internet, people who have nothing in common, people who have never, ever talked about any political topic in public, and we got them to speak out about Palestine. We gave them the forum to use their platform for... The whole point was to get people who have never talked about these kinds of issues, who have never cared about these kinds of issues, and put them in front of them. And I think we did exactly that. From the Try Guys to Curtis Connors to everybody that we had together in that room, and reached so many corners of the internet and reached so many more people than we'd ever had before. That's activism. And then beyond that, VidCon was 2 weeks later, and I can't tell you how many creators came up to me and said, thank you for doing that, asked on how they could be a part of the next event we do, asked what they could do from their own communities and their own platform because they've been terrified to speak out. But seeing guys like Curtis Connors, seeing guys like the Try Guys put their whole platforms out there on the line and say, I don't care what the U.S. government says about where they're going to send their dollars and who they're going to weaponize. I'm going to support this human rights violation. That's the activism, Ethan. It's using your platform to spread awareness. And on top of that, you're just implying that none of us did anything else. Lots of us marched at rallies. Lots of us spoke to our lawmakers, called our senators, called our local government officials, and made it very clear this is an issue to us. And here's a clip from his content nuke where he talks about how he donated $6,500 to Palestine.
Despite what you've read on TikTok and Twitter, I've donated $6,500 to a Palestinian charity after the war started.
Hey, Ethan Klein, thank you for the dono. Ethan Klein gave $6,500.
When he was called out about this on Twitter and on Threads, he decided to come after Stanzi Potenza and go out of his way to say, how much money did you personally donate? That's such a stupid conversation point. So many creators, because I run Creators for Palestine. I see the back end. I see every donation. I can't tell you how many creators donated $10,000 plus $25,000 and more, but didn't make a public statement about it. And didn't try and say, hey, look at me. I'm a good guy. I did something that's the most basic human necessity. Hey, I'm a millionaire, so I decided to give some of my money. And unlike Ethan, didn't make it a shield to say, hey, I don't have these horrible political beliefs. No, because I donated $6,500 to Palestine. Therefore, I made a difference. And then he's going to come out and criticize Creators for Palestine. And for what? Ethan, I was a massive fan of you growing up. I can't tell you how much I looked up to you as the father of fair use and for dunking on horrible, cringy people on the internet, but you've become exactly what you were against back in the day. You have the kind of life people dream of. You're a multi-millionaire, you got your kids, you have everything you could want, and you spend every day sitting on the internet crying and whining and moaning. Get offline and get your mental health in order. You have absolutely lost it. And don't you dare ever disrespect Creators for Palestine or any other charity again. When you're sitting there talking, you're calling us to do some real activism. What the hell have you done? Was your content new real activism? Was telling everybody that, oh my God, big reveal, Hassan Piker's a socialist. Of course he's a socialist. He's been a radical socialist the whole time. That's who he's been. That's not real activism either. So why don't you get off, go enjoy your millions of dollars, your wonderful life, and then do some real activism if you care about it, instead of sitting in your stupid podcast chair, yelling at your employees, treating everybody you know like crap, because you know, Ethan, multiple people in your life haven't spoken to you because they're nervous of how you'd react in public, but privately, tons of your friends have talked to me and to others about how worried they are about you and your mental health because you've absolutely flying off the handle. Get it together.
Ate and left no crumbs, but I will say if someone made a video about me and it popped off, I would be very embarrassed because he ate him up. He ate him up alive, left no fucking crumbs, like not a single word was misplaced. He said what he said. And he just continues on his story rampage, right? He goes off on Matt Lieb. He hates Bad Empanada. From interviewing Bad Empanada to sitting table side with Rhett and Link, I would give Rhett and Link the benefit of the doubt and assume that they didn't know what kind of a person Matt Lieb is. So Matt Lieb is also another content creator. I hope I'm saying his name right. He just starts going off. Expressed love for checking notes. Oh, excuse me. Matt Lieb stopped by the Snark subreddits to express his love for them. And then he said, I love you to the Snark subreddit. Going on with all of this, I feel like I'm missing a part to this. Cause like, why is he going off? Hold on. I know it was related to the Noah Samson beef. I'm trying to remember how. Guys, there's so many things happening with this man that like it's really hard to follow. I think it all started from just Ethan posting on his story, but I could be wrong because there's so many elements to his multiple layers of crash outs that it's hard to follow, so don't quote me on this. Matt Lieb tweets, I'm 100% against anyone calling CPS on YouTubers they don't like. 48 hours of being harassed by Ethan Klein later, we gotta save them kids. Matt Lieb is a contributor to the H3 Snark subreddit, the old one and the new one. This is the community responsible for the CPS visiting us. So I think he's like, I don't know, he's maybe assuming that Matt Lieb was the one that called CPS, which is tied to the whole CPS. And then he like, I don't know, Ethan Klein's chat talking about Matt Lieb is hilarious. Quote, how can we politely communicate to Matt Lieb's friends and colleagues of many years that he must now be exiled because our favorite visibly degenerate podcast host has put a fatwa on him. So this is actually really funny. I don't know if you So this commentator is basically saying that Ethan put a fatwa on Matt Lieb, and if you don't know what a fatwa is, it's basically Curb Your Enthusiasm did a bit on it, but it's, I don't know how to explain it, but it's basically like a hit, like for example, like the Islamic Republic of Iran can put a fatwa on someone and it's like a hit from like an Islamic regime. I could be wrong though, but that's like my definition, like my knowledge of a fatwa. Anyways, okay. So then in the midst of all of this, Ethan, so we've been talking about Ethan and Reddit, right? And we've been talking about how he's basically blaming Reddit for a lot of the things that are happening to him, right? He's like, Reddit this, Reddit that person is posting on H3 Snark, like this Reddit post is doing this, that, and the third to me. So then he starts kind of threatening Reddit executives on his stream. And so that's kind of like another subsection of this whole lore crash out that's happening.
Where's Reddit headquarters? San Francisco?
Thank you.
Maybe do this after the show.
Well, I'm saying I'll go there and do a show in front of their fucking office. I'll do what I have to do. These people are fucking with my children.
Right. Yeah.
I will go and I will fucking stay there as long as I need to, and I will do the show in front of Reddit headquarters and dedicate every fucking episode to destroying every executive officer there and dragging them to fucking hell. I will that's my point. I no longer care, right? Mm-hmm. I don't care. I will drag these people into hell with me. That's what I'm saying I'll do. I will go through every fucking detail of this dude's life publicly, and I will fucking...
That's probably not going to win you any favors with them.
Publicly, information, right? We got no problem with public information. It's not doxing. Let's fucking find out more about Steve Huffman.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
I told you I don't care, and I'm literally going to do whatever it takes to get these people to stop harassing my fucking children.
So this is what's really fascinating to me about what he just did there. He's saying that he's going to go around and he's going to destroy this, executive's life, right? Which, just like his co-host said, is not going to win him any points whatsoever on any part of this crusade that he's on, right? But also, he's claiming that other people are making his lives miserable when he's doing things like this. And it's like, you're out here threatening to dox executives and you're saying that other people are making your life miserable. You see where like it doesn't make sense, and this is why I believe that it's a full-blown crash out, because like homie is crashing out. Like he's doing exactly what he claims he hates because he believes that he's on this crusade of righteousness, right? And it's like, if you're attacking the people who may have called CPS, you're attacking Denims, you're saying you're gonna sue Bad and Empanada, you're saying that you're constantly have spent basically the past multiple months, over a year, obsessing over Hassan and dropping some content new that was supposed to destroy his career. You got Frogan, Capri Sun Poppy, Vio, Denims, another person. You got all these people banned off of Twitch for 30 days. Everyone in his mind is against him. Meanwhile, at the same time, he's literally harassing everyone that he believes are against him. Do you see the cognitive dissonance here? It's like it doesn't make sense, and so many people are afraid to talk about him and hold him accountable because they know the power that he holds. They know that within the snap of his fingers, he can make somebody's life miserable. He knows that. I uploaded the react video I did on Hassan's nuke that Ethan posted. I got so much harassment from that video, and I think it somehow landed on the Ethan ether, the people that still support him. It was insane. It was like some Destiny level orbiters, right? For anyone that is in this space, you know how bad Destiny orbiters are. Like, you get Destiny's fans on you gotta like log off the internet for a week because it's just not gonna be fun, right? And I think all of us who have ever been against Destiny, which I am proud to say that since day one, I've hated that man. You just know how it's gonna go. Like, you know how it's gonna go. You know the harassment, the death threats, the doxing. You just know what's gonna happen, right? And it's giving cognitive dissonance to me, because it's like, how can you say that so many people are anti-Semitic and against you when you are literally on a crusade to ruin multiple people's lives? Might I say, the lives of mostly Middle Eastern and Muslim people. And you claim that everyone's anti-Semitic towards you, whilst you continuously attack people who are either Middle Eastern, Muslim, both. In his Hassan nuke, he dragged some random black executive into the mix, and he was like, this black executive in this company is also with Hassan because they posted about Palestine. Like, it's insane. It's insane to me. You cannot claim that everyone is against you when you are constantly trying to make everyone's life around you worse. else. You just can't. It doesn't work that way. This is basically Hila, right? So in here, she's asking not to be harassed. So Hila posts on Instagram, we've been getting harassed lately in ways that we've never experienced before. They called Child Protective Services to our house yesterday, and we are now performing an investigation. If you know a reporter that is willing to cover this topic, online harassment and Reddit snark pages, please let me know. This has crossed all lines of what's okay, and I just wish someone would take this seriously. We've been talking about this on our podcast for years now, and it's like no one hears us. Ethan and I are two very strong individuals, so we'll be okay, but I worry for others in this situation. It could end in suicide. I think this whole CPS thing like really got to them in ways where it really hurt their ego, because I mean, it's kind of embarrassing getting CPS called on you because your child ate shit and contracted a parasite, right? Like, I'll be honest with you, I would be real embarrassed. But it's just like when you consistently attack people with your platform and then you cry and you ask for help when you get CPS called for what I believe is something pretty warranted, not a lot of people are gonna care. Like, I'm sorry, babe. It's just, let's get a reporter on this. Let's get this, it's just not gonna happen. So then this is another screenshot. Hila Klein, when someone else asks not to be harassed. So she's pleading for the internet to stop harassing her. This person is texting her, I'm pleading with you to stop. Why can't you? Okay, then no need for a phone call. Why can't you just leave me alone, please? Everyone, you talk about me, more of this comes up. Moses is being accused of rape. It's too fucking much. You can record our call. I don't care. I'm sincerely begging that this be over. And this is from Frenemies, right? I believe this is Trisha Paytas or whatever, and her husband's name is Moses. Hila, my mom is having a mental breakdown. My whole family is basically broken down. Welcome to the club. If welcome to the club. You're not the only victim here. Start taking responsibility for your own actions and stop blaming us for everything that's happened to you. And same for Moses, who is not in this chat, but I'm sure he is reading it. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be really honest with you. It's giving white woman tears. It really is. It's just like you and your husband have been on a harassment campaign. Y'all have been harassing people for so fucking long, and then you're over here boohoo crying. Guys, do you know a reporter? Do you know someone that's gonna cover this? You're making a career off of attacking people, babe. I'm gonna need you to look in the mirror, okay? I'm gonna need you to do some real self-reflection. Okay. This is segment 3 of this crash out. I promise you my brain was rotting by the end of this because there's so many elements that I had to like bring together. It was really a fucking pain in the ass. Oh yeah, there's more. Actually, we need to do part 2 of this because there's a bunch more that I literally couldn't put in this video. Like it would have just been too many moving parts. So the Arabs podcast. Remember we talked about the streamers that got banned, that Ethan successfully banned? Ethan says similar things to the Arab pod members and gets away with it. So let's see what this tweet is about, which my mutual Frogan posted. For those of you that don't know, we're going to do a quick recap on why the Arabs podcast got banned on Twitch, okay? The Arabs podcast had a panel on Twitch. It was multiple people, not just people of the podcast. Everyone on there was either Middle Eastern or Muslim. They had a tiering system. They were tiering different people, the highest being that they're Arab, the lowest being that they like Sabra hummus. They did this because nobody who's Middle Eastern or Arab likes Sabra hummus. It's just a thing. We hate it. We don't like it. It tastes like wet cement. So they said that Ethan Klein was rated below the lowest ranking, which was Sabra hummus. Ethan Klein came online and said that this was anti-Semitic because a lot of people in Israel like Sabra hummus and they have it in their fridge. And therefore Twitch listened and Twitch banned them for 30 days because they insulted Sabra hummus. And then Ethan Klein felt personally attacked because they attacked him by putting him in the Sabra hummus tier. Let's watch this video.
Should we try to get hummus tonight for Gallia's staying with us?
We can. We just need to order before 4. They close.
Let's get it
at
in.
4.
There's the best hummus place ever that we want you guys to try. It is, trigger warning, Israeli hummus.
The hummus.
Yeah.
As long as it's not that Sabra shit.
No, the Jews don't sit around eating Sabra.
No.
They eat Sabra like anyone does. It's store-made shit.
I still
snack on.
I
when you
can't
have
do
no other
it. I
options.
can't do it.
listen.
In Israel, the store-bought stuff is better.
Growing up, I thought it was. I didn't even know it was Israeli. I just didn't like it.
I agree. It's not that good. I mean, I
yeah,
definitely,
store bought. What could you do? Yeah.
You don't sit around and eat it like you would a bowl of hummus.
Yeah.
That's
No,
insane.
that's crazy.
Nobody does that.
I do that.
It is.
It is. That's
I do
crazy.
that.
You sit around and just grub on a bowl of...
I've never, listen, I know that there's, like, the restaurant
We
hummus
gotta bring it
obviously
for
is better,
these
but
You
you...
gotta bring it here.
Can we
No,
actually...
I've had it
we have time
before.
to do that?
The restaurant hummus is better. I'm not going to say it's... But
Okay.
I think Sabra's fine. It's fine.
Ooh, Zionist.
It's fine, hummus.
Stop with the
right?
hasbara.
No, I think listen, if you want to have a shelf-stable hummus, you're gonna have to add all kinds of shit in there that's gonna affect the flavor and the consistency, and that's why it's not fucking great. It's a shelf-stable product with preservatives and shit.
Yeah,
and
it's like weirdly fluffy.
It is fluffy.
Weird.
Yeah, and there's no you're not gonna find a better hummus in the store.
Nobody's gonna back me up here.
No.
Oh, you okay? Okay.
You're not gonna find a better hummus that you can buy from a grocery store. They're all
sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, yeah, I don't know of any other brands.
I mean, maybe at like a Whole Foods.
Yeah, you can get a couple of
It's
brands
not.
that
No,
are
there
better.
are other brands, but I'm saying they're just as good. It's not like they're like, oh my god, it's a miracle, they did it.
Yeah, if I don't see like my favorite brand of hummus in the store, I would just grab a Sabra and like, I don't know, just like Dan, I would buy it sometimes and eat it. It's not the best. It's store bought.
Are you sure
Sit
you
there
want
with
to
a bag
admit
of
that on camera?
pita and some
Yeah.
hummus and
button
just
that.
slam on that,
I'm
Absolutely.
with Dan. Like, I'll just eat Sabra. It's fine.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
it's
say it's the
Really
best by any
showing
means.
your
but-
asses.
Yeah, I'm
One
sorry.
other thing,
I'm
it's
sorry
re-
if that's controversial.
I don't no, I agree. I think Sabra hummus is fine if you need something in the fridge. But like,
Right.
obviously, someone who's lived in the Middle East and eaten fresh hummus from people that know how to make it, it's like it's a different food. It's not even the same food.
Yeah, it's basically not even the same category.
It was
When Frogan and the Arabs panel shit on Sabra hummus, it was a whole problem and they got banned for a month and they had their whole entire livelihood stripped away from them for a month. But when he claims that Sabra sucks, it's okay. You cannot claim that Frogan was anti-Semitic because she claimed that Sabra hummus sucks because Israeli people have Sabra hummus in their fridge, whilst at the same time claiming that Sabra hummus sucks a month later. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Anyways, then Ethan is using olive as an alternative to Arab, which I haven't even seen this clip, so let's see what this is.
Tom,
Tom's an olive hater,
what
apparently.
the hell?
What the hell?
Zachariah is an olive hater.
Yeah, don't mention
And then
that.
there was Love as an olive hater.
Yes,
So
I am.
Did you say Dan?
Well, I'm a mild hater,
He's
but
a mild hater, aka hater.
the thing is,
you look like an olive terrorist, bro.
I like them enough that it's fine for me to sit it out. And somebody needs to. There's a lot of mics when we're doing this segment.
So it's okay for him to say that he looks like an olive hater, but then everyone around you is anti-Semitic when they call you out for your antics. Okay. No, it makes sense. You know, it really, once your brain becomes shriveled up and you start losing brain cells because the logic isn't logicking, then it starts making sense. Because then you start having the same brain capacity as Ethan Klein. And what doesn't make sense just starts to make sense. I don't know how else to say it. So then Hassan starts talking about the snark pages.
He said that? Bro, is there a thing that happens? Is there a thing that happens on the planet to Ethan that I am not responsible for? There is no world in which I would ever fucking entertain that, okay? That is a psychotic thing, especially because, let me tell you why I would never do that. Because I'm not Ethan fucking Klein, okay? That's right. I would never in a million years entertain such a thing. Never, ever, ever in a million fucking years would I entertain such a thing. It's completely unacceptable. It's completely ridiculous. The fact that people have done that is also insane. I don't know who did it. I don't know what they did. But the notion that like I would ever entertain that is insane. Okay.
I just think for a lot of people, Hassan is a very easy target. And like, listen, I've told you guys I love Hassan, but like, he does some shit I don't agree with. That's fine. I don't have to agree with everyone 100% of the time. That doesn't mean I don't like them. But, you know, I just think for Ethan, like, he's a very easy target because it's just like, oh, something bad happens to me. Oh, that's Ethan's fault. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I mean, I guess you can do that, but it's like, you know, like, you can blame everything on Hassan. You just start kind of looking like the boy that cried wolf, though, because no one's going to be taking you seriously or your allegations seriously. You know what I mean?
The only thing I've done so far in terms of Ethan Klein's like many attacks against me, which have obviously backfired on him spectacularly, and that's actually caused him to like double down, triple down, quadruple down in very meaningful ways, including like randomly going after Redditors, trying to get Reddit's unbanned or trying to get Reddit's banned, is that it's pure projection. It's quite literally projection. I have not done a fraction of what he has done to me in return. Like, not even a fucking fraction. Do you understand? I've also maintained the position that I think snark Reddits are genuinely not good for people's mental health. This is something that I have talked about before, time and time again. I don't think that I don't think it's a healthy thing to do. Hate watching, especially as someone who personally has a shit ton of hate watchers and content creators who are actively engaging in the hate watching and creating communities around hate watching. I know what that does to a person's mentality. Initially, it was Sex Destiny, who has ruined his own life because of his own decisions. And now Ethan Klein is carrying the fucking torch. If his initial analysis, if his initial argument is like, oh, well, you know, Hassan is doing snark shit to me, which I think is fucking ridiculous, by the way, because the only thing I do is actively defend myself against his many different smears. If that is considered snark, what the fuck is Ethan Klein's subreddit? What the fuck is he doing every single day? He lies about every single thing that I do every day, every time he's broadcasting, including, I guess, but not limited to the fact that he somehow tied back someone engaging in a heinous act of calling Child Protective Services on him to me. Ridiculous.
Listen, I don't know. I think that whoever called CPS on him, obviously that's like very extreme. I think given the circumstances that his child ingested a parasite coming from poop, like I think that would warrant a CPS, call. Now, was that CPS call made for the right reasons? Did they do it because they were worried about the kid, or did they do it because they hate Ethan? I don't know. Was it the pediatrician? I don't know. Was it a mandated reporter? I don't know. I don't know this situation, right? But maybe Hassan didn't really know why someone called CPS on him. I don't know. I don't know the situation, but the point that Ethan keeps attacking Hassan, like he does. He attacks Hassan. He attacks creators like Frogan and Denims. I don't think he personally attacks me because I'm not big enough to be on his radar. I think he really only cares about bigger Twitch streamers and random commentators on his YouTube or I don't know, Instagram posts. I don't know. Maybe one day he'll start hating on me too. Who knows? But it's just one of those things where it's like he does go after people, and he goes after very specific people. Very specific people, right? We're not talking about the white people. We're talking about the Muslim and Middle Eastern population, which there's already not a lot of us here. There's not a lot of us that stream. There's not a lot of us that are here. We put our lives at risk when we talk about things like Palestine, right? We are constantly under attack. We're under fire. Like our job is already hard enough, and then add on a shithead like Ethan Klein to it. You know what I mean? It makes that shit fucking 10 times worse. So then this is where Ethan admits to making Hassan Piker snark pages, which are basically Hassan Piker like hate pages on Reddit.
What? Ethan
have
Klein.
to imagine that they are actively participating in it. Because why? When somebody makes a Hassan Piker snark, it gets banned immediately for harassment.
What?
That I have to imagine that they are actively participating in it. Because why? When somebody makes a Hassan Piker snark, it gets banned immediately.
That had to be the Freudian slip of the year, babe. Like, and he couldn't edit that out because he was on live stream. So once you get clipped, you're fucked. Oh God, that's not a good look, Ethan. That's not a good look. I don't understand how he gets away with so much. He gets away with a lot, y'all. Like, this is ridiculous. Oh man. H3H3 plans to sue streamer Denims after false child neglect claims. Internet drama takes serious turn as online accusations turn into real CPS visits for Ethan and Hila. Not everyone is convinced the lawsuit has merit. California defamation laws typically require public figures like Klein to prove actual malice and reckless disregard for the truth. Some online commentators question whether the case would survive an anti-slap motion, which protects freedom of speech against strategic lawsuits. Others have claimed that the controversy stems from Klein's own statements on his podcast being discussed by others, complicating the legal picture. I mean, I just don't know. I just like, it's just like constant. And then I don't know. And then, okay, so he claims that he's gonna, sue Denims or whatever. Then Bad Empanada also responds to Ethan too, because I guess Ethan says that he's gonna go after him too in some capacity, if I'm not mistaken.
So yeah, Ethan Klein, in his pathetic inability to respond to any of the people who criticize him, went and had a nice little chat with his partner manager, sent them like all of my videos on him, and only one of them stuck. So they deleted the first Alexa video. If you don't know, every YouTuber past a certain point, usually like around 1 million subscribers, gets a partner manager, which is like a direct line that you have to YouTube, so you don't have to deal with the ChatGPT support that everyone else gets. Like everyone else on YouTube, if you want support, what you get is a bot. You never get to talk to a person. It's not allowed. It's just a bot that repeats form letters at you. Whereas bigger YouTubers get a partner manager, where, as it says here, personalized assistance. And obviously a YouTuber like Ethan, who has multiple big channels, who has been on the platform for like 10 years, he 100% has a partner manager. Ethan absolutely does have one. A channel like his, as big as it does, has a partner manager. And I know for a fact that it got through, like it was a direct intervention from YouTube. It was not regular reporting. Because YouTube sent me an email directly from YouTube partner support, which they do not do unless something was done manually. If it's not manually, it's not sent from them. It's not sent, by a name person. It's just sent with like a form. The idea that Ethan Klein, 3 million subscribers on multiple channels, does not have a partner manager is an absurdity. Obviously he does. You guys should not believe people when they lie. Ethan is a habitual liar. Obviously he's lying. So what happens normally when YouTube removes one of your videos or demonetizes a video or age restricts a video, you get a from no reply at youtube.com, which just says, YouTube demonetize your video, YouTube remove your video, something like that. What happened to me was not that. What happened to me is I got an email directly from YouTube partner support, which, as I said, does not happen in normal circumstances unless you contact them directly. And the guy's like, hello, my name is Michael, and I'm reaching out to you on behalf of YouTube's community outreach team with important information about your channel. That is what happens when there's a direct intervention at the request of someone, either at YouTube or someone who has enough clout with YouTube to get in direct contact with them and request something be removed. So it is very, very obvious that this was a result of Ethan directly contacting YouTube. This does not happen if someone uses the regular report feature. So what happened very clearly is Ethan took all of my videos responding to him, and he sent all of them to his partner manager, and his partner manager only agreed on one of them. So it was like an attempt to get me deplatformed, but it didn't work because not even his own contacts at YouTube agree with his bullshit. At this point, you have to understand, Ethan has so much reportable content on his YouTube. Ethan's YouTube has it's the most reportable YouTube in the world, especially his older channels like H3 Productions. So if he wants to throw stones, I would suggest he doesn't do it in a glass house, because there's so many disgusting jokes in his videos that do not fly on YouTube these days. I wouldn't need the direct intervention of a partner manager. I just need people making valid reports. Basically all of Ethan's content is targeted harassment. 90% of it involves him making jokes about rape or pedophilia. Haha, funny jokes, yeah. So if Ethan wants to start attempting to deplatform people, honestly, I don't understand how no one has tried to get him back but with actual valid reports yet. But again, YouTube has a 2-tier sort of support system where until you reach a specific threshold, usually around 1 million, but it can be before that, you get 1 million subscribers, you get ChatGPT support, and you will never ever speak to a human no matter what happens. If you have a problem, deal with it. It's not going.
Yeah, so, I want to point out something that I think is really, crucial here when we listen to so many smaller creators, right? Claiming, talking about how he ruined their life. Well, not ruined their life, but how he reported them and was successful. Frogan, Denims, Bad Empanada, Matt Lieb, he's now going after as of today. And you just have to understand that this is the Zionist playbook, right? The Zionist playbook is always having the resources, which he does, kind of like the state of Israel. The Zionist playbook is constantly being the victim, even though you are attacking people. So what does the state of Israel do? The state of Israel continuously bombs, takes away food, takes away electricity from people in Gaza, attacks the West Bank on a regular basis. And what do? They always paint themselves as the victim. They're like, oh, but we're the only Jewish state in this area. We need this land. We're the chosen people, right? There's always a reason for their terrorizing people, innocent civilians that don't deserve to be terrorized in that way. And so the Ethan and Hila playbook it's Zionism. It is Zionism. Maybe he's going to see this. Maybe him and his wife are going to hate me for it. But at this point, I don't care, because if you look at what the state of Israel does to Palestinian people, and you look at what Ethan Klein does to smaller influencers, content creators, because he knows he has the power to do it, you will see the direct correlation at how they're handling themselves, right? You, as Ethan and Hila Klein, you guys can attack people constantly as much as you want. You don't see any repercussions because you know how big you are. You know you've been in the YouTube game for almost 15 years. You know the power that you have. You know the money and the backing that you have, right? And the minute someone calls CPS on you, then it's, I'm gonna cry a river. We need reporters to report this. You guys need to care about this. Please, this has been ruining our life. This is traumatizing our children who are 3 and 5 and probably not even gonna remember this. What is more traumatizing, your child eating poop and getting a parasite that comes from poop, or a CPS person asking them very basic questions, which if there's nothing going on, you shouldn't be scared of them asking any questions? That's just me. That's just my opinion. But it took me a long time to compile this video, and I had to go through a lot of different aspects of his crash out, and I had to build this narration because there's so many different parts that are happening at the same time with him. So we're more than likely going to do a part 2 of this stream / YouTube video, and we're going to be talking about more his Israel takes and other aspects of his crash outs. But more people, in my opinion, need to call him out. More people need to know what he does, and more people need to see how he terrorizes people, because there are so many smaller creators of color, creators who are Muslim or Middle Eastern, that are suffering from Ethan's actions and his wife's actions constantly. And people close to him, people who are in his circle, people who are outside of his circle, maybe people who are smaller, some people may be scared, some people may be scared of like legal repercussion, whatever. But this is unacceptable. You cannot wield your power, burn so many bridges, and go after people and dox them, from the Reddit CEO to content creators that you don't like to random commentators. You can't do that and expect people to cry for you when something happens to you. There's just a lot of cognitive dissonance here, right? Because he's causing so much chaos for other people, and yet when it happens for him, like, he doesn't understand that this is somewhat what he reaped, right? Like, you reap what you sow. You've been terrorizing so many people online. You claim on the internet that your child contracted a parasite that comes from eating poop, claiming that your dog had it and then your child gets it because your child has been in the phase of, quote, eating everything, and then the whole world just ends. I can't even comprehend. I can't even comprehend how he doesn't understand how this happened to him. How can you not understand how this happened to you? There's literally a video clip of you online where you dragged your foot on dry dog shit during your live stream. Like, how is this so, astronomically out of the realm of possibilities for you? I just don't get it. I don't get it. I really don't get it. It's giving full-blown cognitive dissonance. But anyways, if you liked this video, make sure you like, subscribe, comment for more content like this. And my name is Ariana Jasmine. Let's get to 15,000 subscribers. That's our goal for March. And I will see you guys next time.